Good morning, everybody. This is Inspector Mario. I am back once again from another hiatus. Oh boy. I'm not sure what to say now. I just feel I'm not like I feel like uh bad because I said that like in my last video that I made, I said I was back and I would upload again, and then I never did. Um, the reason why I never did again, I just got lazy. I didn't feel like making a video that 2 weeks, I guess, and well, I don't know what to say. I just that's not even a good excuse. But yeah, I just got lazy to make another video. But I will upload another video next week. I'm gonna keep my promise. I will upload another video next week. I will be back. I mean, I am back. Not I will be back. But I am back again. Oh yeah, I've got tons of things to say. A couple announcements, a few stories, and that's pretty much it. So before I start the announcements or videos, I mean not videos, stories, I just want to say thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I I didn't know that I would ever reach that milestone, and I'm honestly proud of myself that I actually made it that far. Um, I'm just really, I'm just really happy that you guys actually do like the content that I make. I mean, I still feel like that most of my subscribers came from When the Peep is Sus video. But if you actually did come by from my other videos, then thank you. But again, if you came from the When the Peep is Sus video, then that's cool too. I'm just happy that you like a video that I made. Um, I guess we can go on to announcements. What? So you know that in my last video I did talk about like really sad things, like tons of bad newses. Um, this time I have tons of good news for me, and I guess you. I don't know. Uh, some good news is that I actually got my both of my COVID vaccines 2 weeks ago. So I am fully vaccinated for COVID. I am immune to it. I hope. I'm not sure what the COVID vaccine actually does. Not sure if it actually protects you from COVID and if you'll ever get it with from the vaccine. I mean, not from, but with it. Um. So yeah, I got 2 of my COVID shots, which is cool. What else? Already talked about that the 100 milestone. Um, School is over for me. Um, Not sure if I talked about it in my last video, but I did. But if I didn't, I had a final project that I had to do as a final exam, and I got a hundred on that as well. Well, technically not 100. I will talk about that more later. Um, but school is over, so that's one thing that I don't have to worry about anymore for at least 3 months. Um, I am now. Well, actually, um, if you've watched episode 12 of my podcast, you know that one of my one of my good friends, Sonikin07, actually joined the, actually joined the podcast, which funny enough, he's actually the first person to join one of my casts. Um, I was going to have Lovely join in, but he was too busy with things, so we just decided to. Well, I decided to just not do it because we both have tons of things to do now. Um, so why am I talking about Sonic all of a sudden? He made this group, not sure when, called the Dimensions of 4, which is now rebranded to the Dimensions of 5, which is a group of 5, I guess. Well, I mean, it is a group of 5, and I am in it. So, in the Dimensions of 5, it consists of Sonicin as the leader, because he's the person who made the group. Gamer Boy Toadette. You may not know him, but he's, I wouldn't say a friend, but a person who I know, who straight up just screams a lot, makes weird content, and is very weird. no, I'm just joking. I guess he's a good guy. He's in the group. Callium, you probably might know him a little bit more than Toadette, probably because I make fun of him a lot, and me and Callium have a sorta, I don't know how to say it, like a rivalry against each other because we both hate each other. Um, then we've got Lovely. You already know who Lovely is because I'm pretty sure I've already talked about him like one third of my videos. I mean 1/3% of my videos, which would be like 3.333 repeating. Or I don't know. Lovely is in the group as well, and then there's me. I used to be the add-on of the group until Sonic decided that I should be a new member of the group. So yeah, I'll link the channel for our group in the description if you want to subscribe to it. They haven't posted anything lately, but so haven't I. So I guess we're even. So go subscribe to them, and every individual in the group, and support them, I guess. Yeah. I think that's all of the announcements that I have to talk about. I think that's all of the announcements. I guess we can just go on to stories. So, I'm trying to think of one. Actually, this already came up in my head. So, this story has needs more background. So, prepare for tons of talking, even though you've clicked on a podcast, which is basically just talking. So, I used to live in. Well, if you didn't know, probably if you don't know, I used to live in the city. And then I think when I was maybe 6 or 5, my family decided to move to the woods, as in the countryside of the world. We we still live here in the woods. It's pretty calm here. I can't. So when we first moved into the woods, we would always have to move from house to house because of some reason I don't remember, and that would really suck for us because we used to settle in a house that we got comfortable in, and then we just had to move. I think we moved to like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses maybe. And we all decided that we were getting bored of just moving around town, and the community of the entire town wanted to help us build our own house, so that we don't have to move anymore. And it took us 8 months to, actually maybe nine, not sure, 9 months to finish the house. Keep in mind, the house that I'm talking about is the one that I showed in the channel trailer, some in the quest for absolutely nothing. I think that's all of the videos that I show you my house. So once we finish, well, after we finished building the house, we moved in, and now we live here. So now we don't no longer have to move. Why am I talking about this? Well, this connects to a little bit of the story that I'm going to talk about. So one day, me and my mother were just cleaning the house while my sister was doing something. I don't remember, maybe sleeping. Then a woman knocks on the door, so my mother told me to get the door. So I went to the door, and it was there was a man who well, actually, let me give you a bit more background. There was a man who helped us build the house as well. And he was married. So the woman who came by at our house was the wife of a person who helped us build the house. She wanted to leave a few dishes that we let her borrow. Keep in mind, this was before the pandemic, so we're not spreading germs. Well, we technically are, but whatever. So I grab all of the dishes. I place them in the table. My mother tells me who that was. I wanted to tell you one thing about this, though. Both of my parents, my mother and my father, don't speak English. They speak Spanish, so I can't just tell them in English, "Oh, it was the wife of a man who helped us build the house." I can't just say that in English because they won't understand. They're just gonna be like, "Gay?" Or they'll probably just call me a dirty pig, because that's what they call me for some reason. No. My parents both love me. They don't call me a dirty pig unless I don't shower. But no, seriously, they don't call me a dirty pig. Please don't send me to Child Protective Services or whatever. So I have to tell them that, well, my mother, that it was a person's wife who helped us build the house, in Spanish. So I wanted to say the word. Okay, so let me teach you a little something. The word, the wife in Spanish is ESPOSA. I wanted to say that, but for some reason, when I straight up just talked, I said, instead of saying esposa, I said espoja. And that is a very different word from wife in Spanish. So guess what espoja means? Guess what? It means sponge. So I technically said it was the sponge of a man who helped us build the house. How dumb can you be? So I straight up just said esponja, even though the actual word for sponge in Spanish is esponja. And so I just said esponja, even though that's not the same as esponja or esposa. So my mother just, so once I told that to my mother, she was like, "What?" And I tried to say the word sponge, not sponge. Oh, even now I'm saying it now. Wife, but for some reason I keep just saying sponge. And so my mother my mother said to me, it's not espoja, it's esposa." And then I go, "Oh, okay. So it's the espoja." And then I just kept saying it after my mother corrected me. So yeah, I feel so sorry for that woman who I accidentally called a sponge. Lesson learned: wife and sponge are not the same. So I deserve the stupid award because I am stupid. I still can't believe myself for that. What's another story that I can talk about? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of one, but I seriously can't. No. I do have a couple. So this happened about like maybe 3 weeks ago. So I was in a group call with Callium, Toadette, and Lovely. We were Toadette in the call. Toadette was just straight up streaming Metopia, while the three of us were just straight up roasting each other. However, I was the one who roasted Toadette the most. I'm pretty sure if you look at him now, he's just straight up burnt to a crisp. I think I roasted him about like maybe 11 times. One of the roasts I said is, his character in Metopia was a no, it wasn't a chef. Was it a chef? I don't know. I don't remember. And I said something weird. I don't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure I just said pee pee poo poo or whatever. He straight up said to me, keep talking and I'll hit you with my frying pan. And then I told them the only thing you're gonna do with your frying pan is to cook me a sandwich. I don't know how I came up with that one. So, in the group call, Lovely was talking about how soup and toast was a good combination. And I actually no. We were talking about like who had which restaurant had the best fries. And most of my friends said McDonald's, which, I mean, is kind of true. I would put them in my second. But hold on. Before you hate me for saying that, there is another restaurant that has better fries than McDonald's. I'm not saying that McDonald's are the worst. They are the second best. They are really good. But there are other places that have amazing fries. So that's I guess I don't know where I'm going with this. So again, Lovely said that soup and toast was a good combination, and I straight up went up to him saying, I don't think so, because if you dip toast onto soup, it gets soggy. And then and then he goes, no, soup and toast is the same thing as dip and chip. And then I go, no, because toast is not the same as chips. When you dip chips into dip, it doesn't get soggy. If you dip toast into soup, then it gets soggy, and then nobody's gonna eat the toast. And then, that's not what I said. I'm just shortening up the conversation that we had because I think it went on for about 30 minutes or more. Um, so then he said, well, it depends on how much you cook the bread. And then I go, okay, well, do you want to just burn it to a crisp so that it no longer gets soggy and you get extra char parts in your soup? Or do you want the toast to just be cooked for the bread to be just cooked for 1 minute so that it's technically not toast, just bread, and you dip it into the soup which still gets soggy. And then we kept arguing about why soup and toast is either good or bad. So then I left the call because I had to go to sleep. So the next day I looked up if soup and toast was a good combination, and apparently it is. So I guess people want like soggy toasts, toast, toasts. Man, I don't know what's wrong with me. Uh, for some reason I always have trouble talking. It's probably because I too speak Spanish, and I have to like switch between English and Spanish sometimes with my parents. Um, Other times it's probably because of braces, and other times it's just because I have a weird stuttering problem. So don't make fun of me of that. For that. What else? I'm trying to think of another funny story because what about oh um so um one day in June, maybe, I don't remember. um Sonikin wanted me to join in a Splatoon 2 tournament. I don't remember the how many people were there. Probably like 6 because I think we had teams of 3. Um I'm not so in the tournament I use an arrow spray with the burst bomb. I don't remember what the specific name of the arrow spray is called. But I'm just gonna say I use the arrow spray with the burst bomb. So I basically either wrecked everyone or got wrecked by by myself. Um, I mean, I'm not sure who won in that tournament, but I can tell you one thing. Everyone got so angry at me because I I threw like many burst bombs at them, at the enemy team, and they would just straight up die from it. And and one time when we were well, actually I think it was like our 5th game doing on the tournament. Well, somebody said to me, "Hey, this game is Splatoon 2. You have to use your main weapon, not your sub weapon." And then I go, "Okay, but keep in mind, it's not my fault for you. It's not my fault that you just run up to my burst bombs out of nowhere." So, yeah, I still use the arrow spray to either anger people or to just straight up be good. I'm a tryhard. I did join in another tournament that I'm pretty sure Lovely made. Not sure, I don't remember. Maybe it was Sonic and Callium or Toadette. Don't know. Um, this tournament was a bit different because it had we I think the people who were in were Callium, Tonikin, Sonicin, Toadette, Lovely, me, and a new person that I've never heard called Trey, but for the sake of this video, we're just gonna call him Entree because I really like that name, and honestly, I like to call him that. So we played for a little bit, but we didn't have a winner because somebody had to leave. So we just decided to pause the tournament, and I don't know when are we ever going to uh, start it again. But but to give you the scores of the tournament, let's go from least to greatest. So Sonicin is the lowest, and he only has one score, 1 point. I mean, I think it was I think it was Toadette, Callium, and Lovely who have 7 points, and then it's me and Entree who have 9. So basically, me and Entree are in the lead. But I said in the call, in the beginning of the call, I said in the if the I had a question about the tournament rules, and I said if the scores are gonna be like golf rules. If you don't know what golf rules are, the person who has the highest score loses, and the person who has the least score wins. Just for people who don't know somehow. Um, and Lovely out of nowhere straight up says, if this is golf rules, then Sonigan would definitely would I can't even say would definitely be winning because again he only has 1 point. Oh man, that was pretty that was pretty risky to just straight up say that to Sonikin's face. Um, I guess that's it. Um, what other story can I talk about? Oh, I can talk about the weird conversation I had when I went to get my vaccine shots for COVID. So the first time I did, um, I was a little bit scared because I'm always a bit scared with needles because I don't know, it's just weird and creepy. Um, so I went down to sit on the chair. They told me whatever. Well, actually, this is my second shot. The second shot that I've gotten. Um, so the man who inserted my vaccine in my I think it was my left arm, maybe right. I don't remember. Said to me, "How was your first How was your first vaccine shot?" And I wanted to be like a funny person, so I just straight up said, "Well, I mean, I didn't cry." And I got no response. Nobody laughed. And I was like, really? That was funny. Well, actually, I didn't say that out loud, but um, I just said it in my mind. But I did say that stupid joke. And I was like, and there was an awkward silence for about like 5 seconds. And I was like, but in all, I mean, I felt great, I guess. I felt so awkward when I said that because nobody laughed at the joke that I made. Well, I mean, I'm not even sure if they knew it was a joke. It was like, does this kid cry every time he gets a vaccine or whatever? And I am never making jokes in public ever again. No, I'm just joking. It's probably just that they're humorless. What else? What else can I talk about? Um, I guess I can talk about a little bit of my presentation that happened for my final exam. So, let me give you a bit of background. I gotta. Where is it? Oh no. Okay, well that's fine. Um, so our teacher on so during the last weeks of school, we were reading a book called March. The book was mainly about like Black history of like the protests and riots that happened in the 1960s, I think. Some of them, like some famous being the sit-ins that happened in the restaurants, the Freedom Riders incident, the I Have a Dream speech, what else? All of the marches. This book was like mainly about like segregation against blacks and whites. And so for our final exam, our teacher wanted us to make a presentation of what we learned. So many of the kids in my grade were either teaming up. I think there were only like 3 people who, including me, who didn't have a teammate. He didn't have not a teammate. I guess not. He didn't have, like, I would say maybe like a partner. So so I was on my own, and let me tell you what other kids did for their presentation. Some did like a poster, like a really big poster. One did I guess like a cardboard cutout of I don't remember, of just houses, some being white and the other being black. The white houses are like big, while the black houses are small. Representation, like the equality that blacks had in the 1960s. One one group did I guess like a, not a diagram, maybe like a I can't think of the word. Like, did their presentation with Lego, which I still couldn't take seriously because their sculpture was like just a restaurant for some reason with the chum bucket sign from SpongeBob, and there were people who were outside and inside of the restaurant, and there was cotton balls inside of it, because in one sit-in, white police policemen fumigated the inside of the restaurants, so all the blacks had to get out. One kid just straight up did a piece of paper of a comic for some reason. I'm pretty sure he didn't have any time to do an actual presentation. But do you know what I did? I did an animation. Yes, the thing that takes so much time to do, and I'm not good at it. So for my presentation, it took 8. I almost said months. Jesus, 8 days to finish all of the animation. 1 day to do all of the sound effects and music, and 1 hour to import the video and upload it on YouTube. It is my presentation is on YouTube. However, it's very well hidden, and if you do straight up just find it, well, I'm glad you did, but why? The channel that has the video of my presentation has my real name in it, so I'm just maybe deciding that I would change it so that I can actually show you guys my presentation, but I'm not really sure. So I got a good grade on that. Everyone loved it. Teachers around the school shared it with other people, with other teachers, I mean, and they all loved it. So I'm pretty happy of myself from that, which I guess is also part of good news. So yeah, all in all, I'm honestly really proud that I've stayed determined to make my own animation. And yeah, I think that's all that I have for you guys this podcast. Uh, I am the two episodes of the Inspector Mario shorts is almost done. Well, actually, are done. I am ready to show both of them next week. One of them being a Spingle Bingle short. You know Spingle Bingle, probably not, but you might know him later once the video actually gets posted. And what else? Uh, a a true story about about the cousins wrestling in my attic while making weird noises. That story, yeah, that's hold on, let me get the lights because it's really dark in here, and I can't see anything because I'm recording this in like in the middle of night. I need to find the remote or whatever. This thing is straight up fell down. I'm trying to find the... Okay, that just straight up didn't work. There we go. Sorry about that, This is really dark in here. Alright, so, back to the story. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the two, episodes of Inspector Mario shorts. One of them being Spingle Bingle, and the other, the story of, my cousin's wrestling in my attic. I'm still proud of that I've talked about that in my first ever podcast. I'm I hope that they come back soon after the pandemic is over, just so that they can wrestle again in my attic, and so I can just say, "Hey guys, it happened again. They made weird noises while they wrestled in my attic. Yay!" But all in all, I'm still disappointed in my cousins that for doing that, and I'm also disappointed in my sister for not for maybe like making them do it. Oh, that sounds awful when I said that. Making them do okay. That didn't. That's not okay. Don't don't take that as out of context, please. Don't ever. Oh boy, that's not gonna end good. So yeah, I think that's all that I have for you guys. This podcast I'm going to upload next week, and this is a promise. I will upload next week. Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys for sticking around with me, and getting and helping me reach 100 subscribers. I am speechless. Actually, I was speechless because I couldn't even talk. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I keep having strokes. Sorry. So, yeah, thank you so much for supporting me through the hard times. You guys are the best. Thank you. Um, that's it. That's all that I have to say. Thank you for watching this video, and good night.